Customer placing the largest number of orders. In this problem, we're given a table called orders, which has the order number column and the customer number problem. And we need to write a solution to find the customer number for the customer who has placed the largest number of orders. So for example, here we have order number 1, which corresponds to customer number 1. Or a better way to read this is customer number 1 placed order number 1, customer number 2 placed order number 2, customer number 3 placed order number 3, and customer number 3 again placed order number 4. So obviously, given that customer number 3 has the most orders, order 3 and 4, we need to return customer number 3. Oh, and before we begin, do you need help bringing a digital idea to life? From designing to developing a website or an application, look no further than Evolve Consulting. We work fast, we're affordable, and we even offer free consultations. We'll get your app running in no time. So what are you waiting for? Reach us on LinkedIn or through any of the contacts on the screen. Alright, now let's get back to the video. So given in our output, we need to return the customer number column. That's exactly what we're going to select from our orders table. So select customer number from orders. Now what we're going to do is we're going to group by customer number. So since every row in the table represents one order, multiple rows can belong to the same customer, as we saw in this example. If we want to count how many orders each customer made, we need to group all their rows together, and that's where the group by statement comes in handy, because what the group by statement does is it combines rows that have the same values or value in the grouped column. So later on, we could apply aggregate functions for each group. So up until this point, if I were to submit or run this code, we're literally going to get a column for customer number, which contains the values 1, 2, and 3, obviously separated. Now, in the background, what SQL does is, although we didn't use a count function to count the number of rows that we have in our original table or our filter table, SQL in the background, behind the scenes, actually keeps count of the number of rows that were grouped together after we perform the group by function. So to elaborate further, up to this point, we're going to have a table that only consists of customer number with the rows 1, 2, and 3. So if I zoom in awkwardly, it's going to look something like that. And behind the scenes, SQL actually kept count of the number of rows that were grouped together. So for instance here, for customer number 1, since it only has an order number of 1 and it doesn't appear anywhere else in our table, then the count is just 1. Same thing for 2. But for customer number 3, since it appears twice, then actually it has a count of 2. So what we're going to do is, after we group by customer number, we're going to order by count of the order numbers. So this will count the number of rows for each group, or it'll count the number of order numbers for each group, which we've already grouped by. And to make sure that the first value or first row returned in our table has the highest count, we're going to order by count order number in descending order. That means the highest value, or the first value in our table, is the highest value, and as you go down, that number decreases. If we remove descending, then it would group, or it would order them by ascending order instead. Now finally, after we run all these statements, we're going to have a output of customer number with the values 1, 2, 3, obviously 3 being at the top. And since they want us to only return the customer who has placed more orders than any other customer, we just need to return the first row in our table. And to do that, we use the limit statement and we limit to 1. So this will only return the first row in our table. Limit of 2 would show the first 2 rows, and so on. So let's submit our code and see if it works. Awesome. So that was the customer placing the largest number of orders problem on LeetCode. It's not a difficult problem. I hope you found that video helpful, and thanks for watching.